Hey friends, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to cover all the things outside the truck and the bed of the truck. And I'll go over all the little add-ons I did around the truck and things I like and dislike about it. And I'll go over many of the Ford features for the outside of the truck as well. In upcoming videos, I'm going to take you on a driving tour of cameras inside the rig, inside the truck, and hooking up the trailer, and I'm going to take you through all those things. And I will give you a complete tour of inside the rig and all the dash features and all the camera features and all the fun things inside the truck as well. So stay tuned for those. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to us via the Contact Us link on our website and or leave comments down below, and I'll do my best to get back to everybody. Thanks for making us a part of your day as always, and happy adventures, everybody. Enjoy. All right, everybody, as promised, we're going to go over all the features of the truck. I'm going to walk around. I don't know how long this video will take. I've recorded this. I recorded it pretty soon after I got the truck, but I'm doing this again because now I've had it for a while and I realize the things I really like or don't like, or maybe some stuff I would have done different or don't, I don't know, or maybe very glad I did it. So if you missed part one, I went over picking the truck up, the things we did at the dealership, and then what I ordered from Ford. So he ordered this. We didn't just go pick it up off the lot. Starting up here at the front, the clear bra. I showed that in last part's video. A local company near McGregor, Texas, are the ones who put this clear bra on. I did add a little part of my own to the very back on the tailgate, and I'll go over that once we get back there. My chief complaint about the clear bra is that where it says Super Duty up here on the front, dirt collects in the bottom of that, because if it's not lined up exactly and there's just a, like this is the clear bra and it goes over it just a little bit, dirt gets back here in this very top part down here where it says Super Duty, because they had to cut holes out for those lettering. So that's my chief complaint. Number two complaint, getting bugs off of that is sometimes difficult, but not impossible. That's just some things with the clear bra. I like that I don't chip the paint. There's a number of color paint companies, chip paint companies out there you can order some stuff from. My favorite is Dr. Color Chip. You can see here on the screen. They make some superior products. If you have a chipped bumper or chipped hood from rocks and things like that, you can use these to get them. I have no affiliation with them. It's just something that I trust and use in the past. Up on the front here, it has the camera. I really love the camera feature. When you turn on your windshield wiper, this thing pops out and squeegees that off, or washes that off too, which is cool. The grill looks nice. I like the grill. Like any kind of chrome grill, it's kind of a pain to clean, but not impossible to clean. So I do like this grill better than the last grill. Down at the bottom, I see a lot of people take that front valance off, but that helps with gas mileage, so it's not something I want to mess with. Inside here is a radar sensor, so it tells vehicles how close you are. I love the lights, the fog lights, the headlights. They actually turn when you turn the steering wheel, or if you're loaded down in the back and the back end's pushed down and the headlights are pulling up, they adjust themselves and push themselves down. So the headlights automatically adjust based on the level of the truck. So that's pretty cool. The parking sensors, there's here, over there, and over there. There's 4 on the front. If you start getting close to something, the camera on the screen on the front turns on inside the truck, so you can see how close you're getting to something, which is really nice. Overall, the truck looks good. I love the big hood up here. I can see very well out the windshield, as you'll see on the driving video. I did change out that antenna for a stubby antenna, because if you go through a car wash or something, those are much more friendly and don't break off. But let's pop the hood and look under there real quick. All right, you saw this during the installation of a few things. Right there, that little circle disc, that is the filter for the air compressor. And over here on the video, the last video, you saw the circuit breaker there for the DC to DC charger and the solenoid. The only thing I've added since then is this power button right here for the rear bed cover or bed topper for the power on that, because it locks and unlocks with your key fob, which is cool. But that's 8,000 miles roughly of driving, number of rainstorms and dusty environment, so it's still pretty clean under here. So I like the sealing. This little seal right here seals the hood pretty well, and then you have one up on the actual hood itself. This truck also has that felt stuff right there in the hood. So from a heat perspective, it keeps it cooler to touch on the outside. So I like that. I didn't have that on the last one. All of your upfitter switches, if you have them, they're under here, and fuses are under here. Some, just a lot of motor. Getting your filter system out of here is not that big a deal. It's not something I've changed out yet, but I have looked at it. So it's easy enough to get out, compared to what limited space you have up in this big old hood here. Also, Ford did a good thing here on your instrument cluster. You can see the maintenance, and it tells you how clogged or unclogged your filter is. It also shows you your oil life, DEF information, and DEF filter. You can see up in the front system there the camera that I added to the windshield, and we'll go over that on the inside. But I love all the things up here. It looks good. It's a good looking truck. I'm a fan so far. Over here on the side, one of my favorite things about Ford, just in general, is this keypad here. I love that if I need to, I can leave the keys in the car and I can just unlock and lock it with here. Also, I don't know that I've ever addressed this, but Ford had the Ford app, the Ford Pass app, the Ford Pass account, so you can earn points, rewards towards maintenance or purchase of things or upgrades, stuff like that. You can use that to unlock and lock the truck, which is pretty cool. And I can also start it with the app on my phone. I wish I could run it with the app on my phone, but you got to have the key with you. So, and we'll talk about keys when we get inside, because there's a number of options with the key fob that do really cool stuff on the truck as well. I love the big mirrors, and I love that they fold in. I typically keep them folded in when we're parked in a spot because people park close. The running boards, I like them. The power running boards, they're out right now. I have them on a delay, so they may raise up as we're talking here, but typically you can set it up a number of ways. If you have the key in your pocket and you walk up to the locked truck, you can have the lights out here come on and the running boards will go down automatically as you walk up to the truck. I turned that off because it's, walking around the truck often and doing stuff as much as I am in and out of the truck, because it's our work vehicle, it's our storage spot, it's our daily commute, it's all the things. So I didn't need them running in and out every time I walk in or out or near the truck. So I turned that feature off. If you have the key in your hand, you can just grab the handle here and it unlocks, and you can touch the outside of the handle to lock it, or you can use the keypad. And I wish more manufacturers had this option, but this is a really great option in my opinion. The power running boards look great when they're up. They look pretty cool when they're out. Again, I have them on the delay, so if I get in the truck and crank it up and put it in drive to go, as I put it in drive, they'll come up on their own. You can also leave them out all the time, but I like how they're out of the way when they're not in use, or when you're driving, it looks better. See, there it goes up. So it's got a much cleaner underneath, and it's pretty cool when you open this and they come down. If you see a 6.7 liter right here that's written in red, know that that's the turbo boosted motor. So I don't have that, obviously, so mine are normal. I like the new badging here, the new designs here. It looks pretty good. And the mud flaps they have, I've been not unhappy with those at all. You notice on the front here, I tinted these windows. I talked about that in the last video. So I tinted them to match the back windows. And this is factory tint, privacy glass is what it's called, but I had this to make sure it's ceramic. The windshield is also ceramic tinted. It's not super dark, but it does help tremendously with the heat. I got into a vehicle the other day, a very similar vehicle with no tint on the windshield, and I had just gotten out of mine, and it was noticeably different in the radiant heat coming through the windshield in the vehicle without the tint compared to this vehicle with the ceramic tint on the windshield. So highly recommend that, even if you don't get much shading. And again, look at your state laws to make sure that you're within the rules and regulations of wherever it is you live. Back seat, back door is fine. The gap here on the truck topper's fine. This step here is not something I think I'll ever use anymore, just because I don't need to get up there. But if it is something handy, if I need to reach up there and wash off the truck or wash off the top, or maybe in the future I'll put a rack system on the back of this bed on top of there, it may be handy there. But if you didn't have the topper, this is a very handy thing to clean the back windshield, to get into the toolbox that may be back here. Gas tank filler, most gas engines on Fords, you don't have to have a cap anymore. It's just put it in the hole, which I love it, but diesel, you still have to have a cap. Diesel still has to have a cap, but the DEF system still has to have a cap. This DEF system had a loop on it and it's not well designed, so every time you turn this it would get caught up in a bind, so I just took that whole thing off. So now I just have to be mindful to not leave my def cap laying around because it will fall on the ground. Truck cap has very similar privacy glass as to the back windows, and it works pretty well. I like the wheels on this year model. I'm glad they're black. They don't show the brake dust as much as the chrome wheels do. And you see the leaf springs in there, and also this rear mud flap. I talked about the wheel wells. So these plastic wheel wells here keep your wheel well bed, aluminum bed protected, and it reduces the amount of stuff. And here's the mud flaps. They do okay. There's one of your sensors for the onboard scales. The other one is right there. So you have four of those, at least four of those around the rig itself. One thing on this mirror I forgot to mention, this is a light that you can turn on. So if you are slow moving and you turn the wheel in the evening times when your headlights are on, this light will brighten up. So it shines way down here on this area to see out beside you if you're turning into a tight spot at night. And then of course you have the camera feature here, which helps with that 360 degree. And one really cool thing is, this is the view that I get, pretty much the view that I get when I'm towing something and I turn on my turn signal. This view that you're seeing right now is pretty much what I see in the big screen on the truck. So it's a really nice looking down the side turn signal view. This bumper step here is what comes on them now, and I really like that. But this is something I added on, and it's a really, really beneficial thing. These steps to get up in and out are great, but if you climbing out of your bed often, that thing is really, really, really fantastic and makes a handy feature of climbing up and out. And you can't see it up here, but underneath here there's a handle built into the tailgate itself. So it's really nice when you got to climb up there to have that to grab onto. And it's a handle built into the tailgate here. So pretty nice setup. I like that. All right, back here in the back, love, 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 love the cap. It's something I should have done long ago. I'm very, very happy with this particular model. The light up here looks good when it's on. It locks and unlocks with your key fob, which is, to me, is a bonus feature. I really, really like that. It has a little motor in here, and it has a get out. If you should be closed there for any reason, you can pull this little handle and unlock it. I did put my own clear bra back here on this part of the tailgate because there is a rubber seal here, and if dirt and stuff are between that rubber seal and the paint, over time it will scratch the paint on your tailgate. So I put some of that clear bra across the top right here, and it's not beautiful, but it works, and this keeps any dirt that might get between this flap and your paint. I'd rather scratch this up because this is very easy to replace and very easy to put new of this on here, whereas it's not easy and not cheap to get it painted should it wear it out. So I just put a piece of this clear film all the way over here. And if you missed the video on the Airstream, the inside of every outdoor storage door, I did the same kind of film on all of those. So in the event I'm sliding things in and out, I don't scratch my Airstream storage doors. Every product that is available on Amazon that I have done to this truck, so my camera, this kind of 3M tape here, the hitch, other things that I've done to this truck since I purchased it, I'll have a link down below. DC to DC charger, all the things I did with that, the airbags, the compressor for all that stuff will be on in the show notes down below, in the video description down below. You can click on those and see what they are from Amazon, and that's what I purchased and what I put on this truck. You can also go to our Amazon page, amazon.com/shop/13adventures. And in here you can see we have everything broken down. So pets, water and sewer, Airstream essentials, storage, kitchen essentials, cleaning, etc. And I've got many review videos down here. You click on any of these, curations they're called, and I click on here. There's 10 items in there you can see. And you can just see various things that we use for storing. Airstream essentials, there's 111 products in here. So you can kind of see if you scroll down, you may have to wait a minute for it to catch up to go to the next set of things, but work your way through there. You may find something interesting, and I will make a separate category for new Ford truck things. The 7-way pin, there's a video out there of me installing the 7-way pin and the backup camera or the forward integrated camera system and the TPMS, putting that on my old truck. I migrated it to the new truck when we got the new truck, but I love the camera feature. I love the TPMS. I love all that stuff that's integrated, that I don't have to have extra screens up in the cockpit. My just one main screen does everything I need, and I'm a huge fan of that, because man, it's so nice to not have all the extra stuff stuck to the windshield or stuck to the dash or need any extra things when it's all just one simple integration piece. So if you did miss that and you'd have a Ford truck, I don't know what year they started, but 2017 and up, I know it's a possibility, but I'm not sure about the older models before 2017. You can put the integrated camera system and the TPMS system integrated into any trailer. And on that last video, I showed how to install it on the trailer, and I showed me installing it on the trailer. I put the camera in the bumper, but it's really nice to have all that stuff integrated into the truck and not have to have extra devices. I'm a huge fan of that. Over here, Ford did something with this year model that they haven't done before. So previously, you had to have your key to unlock a lock that was in here in order to get to, to be able to lower your spare tire, because there's a piece that goes on your rod that would let you lower the spare tire down. There's no lock in this model, and I don't know what year it was, 2023 and sometime and newer, they don't put the lock in there anymore. So that's I guess a cost savings thing, but they didn't do it. Back here, you got a camera here that points out and you can see a wide view, or it zooms right down on your hitch there. And it's excellent for hooking up. And we'll go over that when we get to the camera features inside and we start showing you things inside. This is a light that turns on. It brightens everything up back here. This is pretty bright. But one really neat feature, I like the self-lowering tailgate. This tailgate will also raise itself. There's a button in the cab you can push to raise and lower it. You can also use the key fob to lower and raise the tailgate. But this tailgate also has parking sensors on it and a camera. So should you be doing something back here and have the tailgate down and you need to move the vehicle, you still have your backup camera. It's not looking at the hitch. And you have parking sensors back here, which is super nice in the event you need to back up with the tailgate down. So I'm a huge fan of that and very thankful for that. Also, if I'm hooked up to my trailer, my propane tanks are right here. So I'm going to show you what this thing does if I accidentally put it down and it hits the propane tanks, or anything for that matter. So it starts beeping and it closes itself back up. So it's not going to bang into something. It puts a little bit of pressure on me, but not that much. Similarly, if you're closing it, if I'm closing it with the button and it hits something, like if I were to have this drawer out, pushed out the right ear, and it closes and try to close against that thing, it won't do it. It'll open itself back. So pretty cool thing, and that's using the automatic feature to go up. It always has that protection when it's coming down. Should it be hitting something, it will stop and move back away. So I like that. I'm going to finish the outside of the vehicle, and then we'll come back to the deck system and the deck here. Another cool thing, if you haven't seen before, but Ford has this built-in step here, which is really cool. So if I'm doing something, climbing up here, stepping up here, it's easy to get up here to wash the roof with a broom kind of brush thing, or to do anything up here. It makes life pretty easy to climb up and down on the step. Similarly, your step over here, down, I can hop on up here. So either way, but you also have this corner on the bumper and the corner over there on the bumper as well. Step up, and it has a handle if you need a handle to help pick yourself up here. So really handy for most ability groups. So down here is my 7-way pin, and the one below it is the camera and TPMS sensor. If you just have a standard 7-way pin, the one below it's going to be your standard trailer pin, the 4 pins across. Right here is my DC to DC charger. The wiring runs all the way up. It goes in the same wiring, goes along the same wiring harness as everything else back here. So your your lights, your 7-way pin plugs, all that stuff goes into one wiring bundle and runs all the way to the front. I wired this one and matched it all the way up to the front. So you get on there and look, you can't even really tell that it was an aftermarket add-on. But I love Ford's change to the rear receiver hitch back here. In my last 350, the 2017 model, I had a 3-inch receiver hitch, which finding a hitch for it was not always easy. So 2.5 or 2 inches is a much easier thing to find. And I got the B&W hitch here. Let's talk about the hitch for a moment. B&W hitch. This thing is adjustable. Mine's upside down than normal. And if it were the other way around, I would have this thing tucked underneath when I park. But because the trailer is lifted 3 inches, I have to flip it upside down here in order to make it level. I don't like the fact that I can't tuck it underneath based on the hitch and the lift kit. So if you do get a lift kit, know that your hitch is probably going to be out all the time. But most of you have a weight distribution hitch, and those are fine. And I don't disagree with them. I just don't think I need it for this truck and trailer combo. I am considering, I'm going to meet with the folks in a week or so about the Way Safe hitches, and Fastway also has one with a scale in it. I know my truck has the scales on board, which is fantastic, but having the airbags throws that scale off some. So it's really nice to have the Way Safe hitch or the Fastway scale system built into the hitch. So more to follow on that if that comes to fruition. But I do like both of those setups. I've talked about this till I'm blue in the face, but I do not have a weight distribution hitch. My weight of my truck and the weight of my trailer are not something that I think is necessary for the setup that I have. I do believe in them, and I do think many people need them, but that's the discussion for plenty of other videos that I've talked about it in. So if you want to know my thoughts on that, search back through my video history. I have plenty of discussions on that. And I'm actually going to do a weight and balance video on this truck. And you'll see all of its capabilities, and I put it into a calculator. I'm going to go over all the weight and balance of this truck, what my truck weighs, what my trailer weighs, how it compares to using this type of hitch and that kind of thing. But back to the system here. The holes are much bigger back here to put chains in. I really like that. And it seems to work better. So I like the redesign of those type things. Over here on this side is just the chrome tips. That's really the only difference on this side of the truck. But it does look good, and we've got a nice little sunset shaping up over there. One thing about the top of the truck there, you see the black antenna on this side and the other side. If you have a fifth wheel and it covers up the bed quite a bit, your satellite antennas are back there. So depending on the angle of the fifth wheel, it may not pick up satellite while you're towing. And while the awning or running boards are down, this is my compressor for the airbags. And you see the power wire coming off here. It is not completely level. It's sitting kind of an angle, but the reason is because we were able to use existing holes in the frame to hook it up to, and I didn't have to drill any new holes in the frame. So that's why it sits down just a little bit. No worries, no big deal. But if you were wondering and you saw that, it's on purpose. And here's my little stubby antenna. Again, this will be linked down in the video description as one of my changes or upgrades or things I did. All right, we're going to go over the bed slide system from Decked, D-E-C-K-E-D, Decked. They have a myriad of products out there in the world to do this kind of thing with, so I'm a fan of them. Let's look inside the bed and show you what we got going on here. I do have a light there, and we have the bed lights that are already in here that will shine. And between the three of them, the truck bed is pretty bright at night. So in here, I like this whole setup. So I have 2 bicycles in here. I have 2 Costco bins. I have a crate with my water filtration system. I have all of my workout gear here, a couple of ladders here, the air gear, sunshade. This is just a box full of parts and things like that. My hose. I put my power cord in the same area when it's not in use. I have a jug of diesel exhaust fluid up there. I don't have the skis and the snowboard in here at the moment, but they go in here as well. And our winter sports gear is in another bin. I also put that in here when it's necessary, but I don't have that in here for this particular video. So You can see that I still have plenty of room over here to put stuff. In front of the wheel well up there is a nice little storage area if you want something that's not very often used. And you have the same thing on that side for stuff that's not very often used. You have plenty of room. And you can see I have this mechanics tool set back here on the back side. And I have still plenty of room in here to add stuff if I needed to. Plus you have a little shelf all the way around that makes it handy for putting things up there with Velcro if you need to. One of my favorite things about this particular model that I got from the Leer system is that front window and the cap will fold back this way, or you can take it completely out actually, but it really folds back this way to clean the outside of it and clean up against the back glass of the truck itself. So really, really handy. I still haven't quite figured out how I'm going to carry everything, which is why I don't have the skis and the snowboard equipment in here at the moment, because I'm still sorting stuff out. I've got some things for the bikes to be locked down to the floor, and I'm testing where I'm going to put all that stuff before I make a permanent decision on everything, but I'll show you what I'm doing for right now. This deck system is a 1,500 pound capability. It has multiple locking positions. Locking position number 1 is about halfway out the tailgate. Number 2 is right at the bottom of the tailgate, right at the edge. Number 3 is here. Here's number 4. Number 5. Number 6. And number 7 is all the way out. I don't know how much stuff I have on here, but it's about, I would guesstimate 400 pounds of stuff sitting up here on the tailgate. And it rolls all the way out. So I'm able to access everything in the bed. I can reach the entirety of the bed slide system when it's fully extended out. So I'm a big fan of that. I can get to everything up here. Do stuff with my bikes if I need to. I pull the bike off, put the bike on, and I have room for more stuff. It's just, this is what I put on here now. I did add some eyelets in here, and that's what I use these straps in here to strap everything down with to make sure that it stays secure as we travel, because if you hit roadsides or slide around, stuff tends to slide back and forth, so not what I want to be a part of. So in there you can see the rail system of the bed slide. This type of bed slide is something that I just think is a tremendous benefit. And if you have a cap on your truck and don't have one of these, you're missing out. You do lose, with this particular bed slide, you lose about 6 inches of height clearance from the bed to the top of the bed slide. That doesn't include these rails here. That's just where everything sits up here. It's about 6 inches from there to the bottom of the top of the bed. So you do lose some clearance and height wise, but not terrible, specifically because of how much this thing can hold. Love the bed slide. I love the cap, and I think you can see maybe in the view there, you can see out the windows there pretty well. This back window does open out using that little screw thing right there. So if you need ventilation back here, you do have that option. So it looks good looking out of it. It looks clear, but when you get on the outside, it's a privacy glass, so it's harder to see in. So the bed rug is something I do like and do appreciate. I just wish that Ford would make a zipper for the tailgate portion. So if you did need to replace just the tailgate portion, you could zipper it right off and replace it and put a new one on. But the side of this carpet, so from here all the way around, this part here on the side is actually zippered at the bottom of this L to the bottom of the bottom rug, and the bottom rug from here all the way to front is just one solid piece. I don't know why this design is the way it is. This has something to do maybe with opening, closing the tailgate and things not falling down in here, or I'm not sure about that, but it would be nice if they had a zipper system to this tailgate. But I've seen a number of people with this who have moved it from one truck to another truck to another truck, and it still looks good, and they've been very happy with it. So it's something I went with. We'll have it in here for a number of years, so we'll see if it holds true and how well it holds up. So far I like it. So far I think it looks good. There are some other pieces. So my rear seat on that back side, I'll go over a little handle I put in there, and I'll show you what that handle is. But that same company makes these MOLLE system, modular equipment type things you can put into the bed in here. and you can hang stuff to it or hook stuff to it. I'm very interested in those, strap stuff down, so to speak. But I'm interested in adding those to the bed of the truck, but that's something for a later date. If I do add it, I'll make a whole separate video on it. But there are some storage solutions for the in front of and behind the rear wheel well that against the wall that makes sense to me. So that's something that I may end up getting in the future, depending on what I find that I need to carry. And then everybody's favorite thing, the plug this back here. So when the truck is running, I can open that plug up and turn on the generator from back here, or turn it on the screen, and it will power 2,000 watts of AC power coming out, and that's via the inverter that is located under the back seat. They say it's an onboard generator, but in reality, it's just the alternators powering through your inverter, just like an RV does, and it powers that outlet. It's really meant for like coffee pots and power saws and power tools and things of that nature. It's not meant to run your RV or try to do air conditioning with it or anything like that. I also didn't talk about it, but the platinum word here, platinum on the back, and the back end of it, the shininess, looks pretty good. I like that feature. I love all the things that the platinum comes with, these LED lights and the bright white backup lights that comes with it, and the yellow or amber turn signals. Plus it has motions or sensors in here that tells you if vehicles are close to you in your blind spot. It lights up your mirror. So really like all those things. I'm going to record a video real quick of the airbags pumping up so you can see that. I have the remote here, and it's currently set to maybe 10 psi. Currently set to 10. I have, so button number 1 is a preset number 1, and I have button number 2 is a preset number 2. So I'm going to change that to 30. So now it's at 30 psi, and then I can go back to my preset of 5, and it lets the air out. It's a really handy feature having the remote here, and I just keep it up there on the sun visor. It is, it's $10 a day, no worries. Because I've parked there when we're in and out of here. I just realized I got a sticker on my new hat. I've been showing you guys my brand new hat. I didn't even take the sticker off.
Are you ready?